that you'll see in the capital budget that are lump sum priced, so certain items lend themselves to a one-time cost. Let's take playground equipment for an example, but generally unit rates have served us very well because they're scalable and we can extend them to the size and magnitude of a project. Various change management tools are used to address cost uncertainty for any of these projects. There's certainly an element of risk and an element of uncertainty. We do that through the use of project charters, where we scope the project as tightly as we can to prevent scope creep and additional items from coming in to widen the budget risk. Of course, we use budget contingencies. In Ms. Reynolds' report, we use a range of contingencies up to about 20%, depending on the nature of the project. And then we also use provisional items, especially in tender documents. And provisional items are optional things that are on more or less a wish list if we have enough capability left in the budget, and if based on the project scope, if it warrants going ahead with those optional extras, we have those as a buffer too. And then lastly, I think in terms of staff, we're very proud of the overall record of bringing capital budgets in on time for the most part and on budget. There are certainly exceptions. You remember a staff report that my group brought forward last month on a road reconstruction where we encountered contaminated soil. There are risks in any projects, but overall we're certainly proud of the track record in keeping things within Council's approved budget envelopes. In terms of procurement, there's a lot more in the staff report, but I'd just like to say that we do use a high degree of rigor for all projects, no matter the size. We often tend to gravitate to the big projects like the road reconstructions, the road resurfacing program, but whether it's a creek rehabilitation project, whether it's a park job, whether it's a facility, whether it's a water main, sewer, what have you, we take the same approach to each one at the procurement and scoping and management stage. We're lucky to have a new purchasing bylaw that was council approved last year that sets forward more detail, more clarity in the purchasing process. Unique to Waterloo, of course, we have the audit committee. And we try to use early and multi-year tenders to obtain better pricing. So we'll try to tender jobs when contractors aren't busy, so usually in the winter months or up to late spring. We find we get much better pricing than when they're already busy and they have a slate of projects that they're working on. And in some cases, we use multi-year tenders. CCTV inspections come to mind, road resurfacing. So when we bulk up those prices over 3 years, we get economies of scale, and we see unit rates come down for those items. Across the city staff do a lot of their own project management, and that involves contract administration.